This is huge. The Boston Red Sox have a massive trade opportunity to go out and get a young star pitcher. I'll break down what it would take to get the arm as well as how it could benefit this Boston Red Sox team going forward. We'll do all of that right now on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, remember, if you're a part of the 91.5% who are currently watching this video who are not currently subscribed, please scroll down, click the subscribe button. It takes no time at all. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys for all of it. But now, let's get to it and break down the massive trade opportunity for these Boston Red Sox. Now, we've spoke about it. Me and Evan both have spoke about it multiple times in previous videos about how the Boston Red Sox need two things desperately this offseason before next season starts. One of them being a few right-handed bats to even out the lineup, as we are a bit left-handed heavy. There's no way around it. But also, we need, and honestly more importantly, we need more pitching. Whether it be starting pitching, relief pitching, or even closers, we need pitching help desperately. Now this trade breaks down how the Red Sox stunning trade proposal would land White Sox $2.9 million All-Star. Going on to say, will Boston risk it for the biscuit? And this is written by Jackson Roberts 2 days ago on October 23rd. So let's get to it and break down the actual contents of this article and what Jackson thinks about this possible idea. Going on to say, but what will Abreu net the Red Sox? Katie Manganelli, I apologize if I mispronounced it, of Fanside believes a trade centered around Abreu could land an All-Star, proposing that the Boston could swap Abreu and prospects for the Chicago White Sox Garrett Crotchet. Now, before we get to the next set of quotes, could swap Abreu and prospects for Garrett Crotchet. I would love to know what it looks like in totality. Are we talking Abreu and one other prospect? Which prospect is it? Is it Garcia that we referred to in earlier videos about possibly trading him straight up for Soler to the Atlanta Braves? Is the 12th ranked prospect, I believe. Is he going to be partnered with Abreu in this trade? What exactly prospect are we looking at when discussing possibly adding another prospect to this trade to then get the deal done with the White Sox? Now, MLB insider John Heyman said he could see the Red Sox landing young ace Garrett Crotchet from the White Sox. McNeely said, going on the say, and I quote, Abreu could be a perfect piece in the trade as Chicago desperately needs outfielders. Only 2 of the club's top 20 prospects are outfielders, and they're both a solid few seasons away from the big leagues. Now, that's the end of the quote. But again, we have an answer to one of their problems. The question is, how steep of an asking price is Garrett Crotchet going to maintain? Now, we can break down all the stats that we want about Garrett Crotchet. He's an elite pitcher. Obviously, there's a few things where he's not elite, but again, he is a damn good pitcher. And if you get him on a team that is able to add a bit of run support, he's going to look phenomenal. He reminds everyone of a young Chris Sale playing back in those black and white pinstripes, leading the way for a Chicago White Sox team. Obviously, the White Sox haven't added a lot of really talent around Garrett Crotchet. They had Michael Kopech coming out of the bullpen, who ended up in Los Angeles, who's now doing a phenomenal job, looking even better than he did on a bad White Sox team now that he is playing on such an illustrious and high-level team in Los Angeles for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I feel like it would be a lot of the same story if Garrett Crotchet were to be traded away from the Chicago White Sox team. There is not a lot of good going on in Chicago when it comes to this White Sox team. And if some young talent like Garrett Crotchet was capable of getting moved to another elite level team where he could have some run support, all the pressure wouldn't be on him to get out and through 7-8 innings without giving up more than a run because the White Sox have an inability to score. If you could put him on this Red Sox team who has a very, very good offense, especially after the improvements we'll see this offseason in addition of those right-handed bats, I think this could be a massive trade and a massive acquisition for this Boston Red Sox team. If you look, his everything is very, very good, and the only things that aren't considered elite, if you will, the average exit velocity is just above average, and the reason it's there is because Garrett Crotchet throws very, very hard, and when you throw very hard, you give up a lot of hard contact because if the barrel rate is very high, it results in obviously hard contact, and again, if you throw hard, that's just an added piece to that equation. His barrel percentage is another piece that is down, but again, Nothing to worry about with Garrett Crochet. He throws a lot of innings, and when he does, he's damn good at it. If you look at this is just a breakdown year by year for Garrett Crochet. This past season, he was in the top 5 percentile of strikeouts for this 2024 season, which is always good to see. Despite not winning a lot of games, despite going 6-12 on the year for the Chicago White Sox, in 32 games started, he still got his job done. Obviously, the numbers aren't phenomenal, but again, please understand the context and the situation of him playing in Chicago for this White Sox team. If he was playing for any other team, like, let's hypothetically, the Dodgers or the Yankees, who are currently in the World Series, he would be not the game one starter necessarily, but he would definitely be the second or third game starter because of the abilities he brings to each and every team. And then you can get 4 innings out of him. Those 4 innings, he may only give up 2 hits. He's not going to walk a lot of batters. So, again, he has a lot of upside. And, again, he is so very young. And what it's going to take for this Boston Red Sox team to go out and get someone like Garrett Crochet, unfortunately, may be along the lines of Wilyer Abreu. Now, this young stud, only 25 years of age, has really, really taken his own path in the sense of he's looked very, very good over the last 2 years, now going into his 3rd MLB season with this Boston Red Sox team. He had 15 home runs this past year and 58 RBIs with a .322 on base percentage. He's not obviously the greatest offensive player. There's no way around it. But if we look at his Baseball Savant page, it is flat out impressive. And why do I say that? Well, look down at the bottom. Look at the fielding. He is an elite fielder, and there is no argument around it. Obviously, he's not the fastest guy in the league, but again, he is fast enough to cover enough ground. His arm strength is out of this world, with a great arm value, arm strength as well, and then overall range. Again, it would even be better if his speed improves, and again, only being 25 years of age, going into his 3rd MLB year in the actual big leagues. Don't be surprised if this kid gets a little bit faster, if he slims down just a little bit. Looking at the plate, he's not the greatest offense when it comes down to offensive production, but again, overall value, he has great. It's honestly great in the sense that he's, again, 25 years old, going into his 3rd MLB season. He's going to get better. There's no way around it. I'm not saying he's going to turn into Barry Bonds or anything like that, but again, if he can improve just a bit, I can see Wilyer Abreu being a core piece, whether he plays for the Red Sox, the White Sox, or any other team in between. I think he's going to be a very, very valuable piece, not only because of the defense, but because in a few years, this offense is going to round out for Abreu, and he's going to be a damn good ball player. Not that he isn't already, but again, he's just going to be more complete, if you will. The speed, again, overall, is right about average. What is that, 55? Yeah, 55, just over average, being 50 in this sense, and for Baseball Savant. So, is it enticing? Without a doubt. As we all know, this Boston Red Sox team needs help when it comes to the pitching. Obviously, Kenley Jansen probably will not be a Boston Red Sox next season, and Liam Hendricks may be also on the move. Seems like these guys, obviously, Bello is a young piece. Fitz, it was a rookie last year, but Cutter Crawford, Nick Pivetta, what are we going to do with these now older gentlemen who are good arms, but again, they're not great. They're not going to be arms that start in a World Series, that are going to be able to propel a team through the AL pennant. So again, very, very enticing. And obviously, Abreu right now is listed as our starting right fielder. Tyler O'Neill is most likely going to be on the move this offseason, as Boston is not going to pay him roughly $80 to $90 million. So, big question marks here. Is Rafaela going to move into the starting right fielder position? If we were to move Abreu and possibly bring in Crochet, I wouldn't mind that much at all. I think unlocking Crochet will be as simple as just getting him out of the Chicago White Sox organization and allowing him to really thrive in an overall a better organization than the White Sox, which isn't hard, as the majority of the organizations outside of Oakland may be considered better. Now, to finish out this article, it writes, it remains to be seen whether an extension will still be a requirement for the Red Sox if they want to acquire Crochet, but because of the non-traditional career path the lefty fireballer has taken, it's hard to determine his value. He could be the best lefty in the American League after Tarek Skubal, or he could tire out again and find himself in the bullpen by August, which again is very, very true. That's why I mentioned the 4-inning mark. you're going to get close to 4 innings from Crochet. The question is he going to surpass that line? Now, if he doesn't, obviously we got 4 innings of work out of him, and now we have 5 to work with. But again, if he sits in that relief pitching spot, if we know we put him in a position where, hey, you're either going to come in and you're going to give us 1 and 2/3 innings to get us through a tough spot of the game and be able to propel a closer, a setup pitcher to come in and finish it out, excuse me, or are we going to allow you to start games and go 4 to 5 innings and put more pressure on our bullpen? Again, we are going to need drastic improvements in order to do something like that. So again, a lot of pieces still to be moved, a lot of things to still be figured out. But again, that'll be it for this episode of Red Sox Digest. Thank you guys for watching, and please let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this possible trade scenario of Wilyer Abreu going to Chicago for Garrett Crochet, with additions of a possible prospect with Abreu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.